How did you cope maybe going into that environment and kind of settling down? And obviously during that period, you won Player of the Year, and an array of different awards during your time at Birmingham. How did you cope with that? And how did you enjoy football more? Was it different to Brentford? I'm just interested on the contrast there.
Yeah, it was a bigger move for me. Bigger move, big stadium, fan base was huge. Expectations obviously was there as well. Being an ex-Premier League club, so you had all that to deal with at the same time. But I think when I first went there, it was a difficult period. I don't think they won at home for like 11, 12 months. I think it was under Lee Clark at the time, which I was really surprised about. So again, that gave me that fire and that determination to say, okay, I can come in, I can change that, I can help change that. It was a tough time. I think we won all our pre-season games at the time, and then I think we lost 4 or 5 games on the bounce in the league. So it wasn't the greatest of starts, to be honest. And I'm looking at thinking, have I made the right decision? It's not gone well. It's not started well. The fans have started to turn a little bit. What we're going to do, have I made the right decision? But at the same time, I thought, what, I just need to do the best I can do. And that's how I looked at it, to be honest. And I think when Rowett came in, it kind of rejuvenised everything, and settled everyone down. We was slipping down in the league and wasn't really having the best of times. And I think the change was the right decision, and it came at the right time. And when Rowett came in, he kind of rejuvenised everything and settles everyone down. And we won that first game at home against Watford, and we kind of kicked on from there, really. So it was kind of a mixed start for my Birmingham career, where we didn't do so well. Manager got sacked. The manager that signed me got sacked. So you're thinking, a new manager comes in, is he going to like me? Am I going to still be the main striker there? And I think one of the first things he came in and he spoke to all the players, and he kind of settled my self down by saying, look, I know everything about you. You are going to be my number 9, so I don't want you to think I'm coming in and I'm going to bring someone else in. You are going to lead the line, and that kind of settled me down massively, because you don't know what to expect with a new manager. And I think that was a good thing for him to do, to come in and say that to me, and kind of settle me down. And like I say, I kind of repaid that faith with some of the performances, really. So we got on really well. And like I say, we won that first game against Watford at home at St Andrews. Place was electric, and from then on we just kicked on. We just kicked on from there, and we just really flourished.
You mentioned obviously Lee Clark signed you, and then you mentioned, well, your words were then that Rowett kind of settled things down and kind of made things a little bit probably more simple for you in terms of how to play, etc. What was the difference there between maybe Clark and Rowett in terms of playing styles, etc.? Can you reflect on maybe the contrast there when Rowett came in to try and revitalise the team again? Is there anything that stands out on that time?
I think Rowett was really good. He was a good man manager, where Lee Clark was more, didn't really get involved in training. Assistants and coaches, other coaches would do all the training, and didn't really speak to the players on a one-to-one level, really. Whereas Rowett came in straight away, sat us down individually and told us what he wanted, how he wanted us to play. For me personally, he said, you're going to be my number 9. I want you to lead the line. We're going to play this way. We're going to try and play this way. These are the things I want you to do. I know it's going to be difficult, but just do your best. And I think that was great. When he did that. I think you need that as a player. As a player, lots of things goes around in your head when stuff like that happens. A new manager comes in. Are you going to be favoured? Are you going to be pushed out of the team? Are you going to be brought into the team? So it's important for managers to sit down with players and tell them exactly where they stand. And that was big. That was big for me. And I think you could see in my performances when I did play for Birmingham under Rowett. That definitely helped me perform to the best of my ability, because I had that backing from my manager, which again every player would want. If you get that backing from your manager on a one-to-one level, then you're going to run through big walls for him, and that's exactly what I did. And I think that was a difference really between him and Clarkey.
But you said to see him go, obviously, during that period. Redknapp came in, I think Cottrell came in as well, and Zola, I think, was there during that period. But you said to see Rowett go, and obviously the kind of the turmoil that happened, it was kind of out of the blue. What was that like for you as a player? Obviously, you mentioned that element of knowing your place in the team. I can imagine that brings a little bit of anxiety and worry about your future there at the club. What was that like for you?
Yeah, that was a difficult period. That was really difficult when Rowett left. A big shock to the system. I think everyone was shocked. Everyone was shocked at the time. Didn't see it coming. I think we was in the playoffs at the time. I think it was so many points off second. Really doing well. So when we realised and heard that he got the sack, everyone was just in shock. And yeah, we said this is going to be the wrong move. Really, we shouldn't be disrupting anything. Really, we're going in the right direction. For me personally, I got injured at the Ipswich game. I think the Ipswich game was his last game. I think I remember I scored a penalty. We won 1-0, and I did my Achilles. Partially tore my Achilles. So that was my last game and Rowett's last game. So when we got the news, I was actually injured anyway. So I was out for nearly 4 months, I think it was. So that's when Zola came in. So I was kind of watching on the sidelines. I couldn't really be involved or get involved because I was injured, and the training sessions were 3-4 hours long. It was just like a rabbit in a headlight for them. I felt so sorry for them. They got this everything they did. It was just wrong. They kept getting everything wrong. Trainings were too long at a time. Players were getting injured. No days off. Again, when you come into a new environment like that, you can't just switch everything over. You got to do it gradually, because you can do that if you start the season pre-season. You can implement your own little styles and ways, but to do that halfway through the season, obviously with the results, it just doesn't work. You kind of got to go with what's been happening before, but gradually put your own little elements and stuff in. Where he changed absolutely everything overnight, and it was a big shock to the system, to the players, to the club, to the staff. So yeah, he got it totally wrong. But at the same time, I was on the sidelines looking, and I'm thinking, I was actually quite pleased that I was on the sideline, because I was like, there's no way I could cope with all this training and stuff, and just the things he would do and say in the training sessions, and he just got it all totally wrong. And like I say, it showed in the results, and he did end up lasting that long, unfortunately. Even though he did well at Watford, and as a player, what a player, one of the greatest Premier League players to come about as well. It was just a shame, really. It didn't work. And yeah, big name. I think the club at the time wanted a big name to come in to try and rejuvenate the place, the Birmingham. But it's just, yeah, it doesn't work like that, as we've seen in recent times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of similarities. There's obviously John Eustace, and obviously that's backfired even worse now with Birmingham being in League One. Just on that then, Clayton. So kind of during that period, after Zola, there was Redknapp, and there was a period during the window where Birmingham was signing an array of different players. In fact, and again, from my personal point of view, probably too many players in terms of bringing players into the club. How did you cope with that during that process, where you see a lot of players coming in on big contracts, the likes of the 3 lads from Brentford, for example, and other players linked with Birmingham City? How do you cope with that in terms of knowing your place and thinking, hang on a minute, is there a place for me here in terms of the team? Or did you think about it of better competition? I'm just interested on what your thought process was during that period of players coming in, but also that instability of managers as well.
Yeah, so that was another difficult period for me. Being injured for 4 months, not really being able to help the team, and all these, Zola's come in, Redknapp's come in. So then, we get to a window, and all these other players have come in, big money, big contracts, and you're looking around thinking, is this a time for me to say goodbye? Am I going to be the manager's number one? like I said to you before, so I got back fit just towards the end of the season. I think I came on the last game of that season away at Bristol. I think it was, we needed a point. I think Winchester, and we stayed. I think Shea Adams scored. But I go back to that period of when Rowett came in and sat us all down individually and said, "Look, you're going to be my plans. You're not going to be a plan." I didn't really have that with Redknapp at the start of the season. He didn't really speak to the players, to be honest. And I don't feel like he was there to. I think he was just there just to be there, kind of thing. He wasn't. He didn't really get involved as much. And again, there was a few signings that he made that he didn't really know too much about, to be honest. So I kind of got a wind of that, and I was thinking, this is going to be a big, massive circus, really. And it just got to the point where I was like, I need to be focusing on me now, focusing on playing. I didn't feel like the opportunity was going to come because all these players were coming in. The manager didn't really know too much about some of the players, so I was thinking, who's controlling all this stuff? So that was I think that was a point where I was like, time for me to move on. Sadly, even though I didn't want to leave, but it just felt like I was forced to with what was going on.